team's been announced, exciting looking team, potentially 6 debutants. Could you just tell us about how the lads are holding?
Yeah, it's been a great few weeks. Preparation. It's been, I suppose, challenging in that we've new coaches and we've new players, so they're kind of trying to learn our way first and foremost before they can do our way well. So that's been a bit of a challenge. We were lucky to get an extra day last Thursday week, so we got an extra day's prep in, and I suppose the exciting thing for the players is it's the real challenge of being an international rugby player, is trying to come together. You know, we got an extra day, but really you're trying to come together on a Monday and trying to be ready to play a test match with no excuses on the following Saturday. You know, I think they're all pretty comfortable with it. There's similarities between how we play in all the different provinces, so they pick things up quickly, trying to pick up the language, trying to pick up the little nuances of how we feel we make things work. Is the challenge for a lot of them, but they've been very good, and the players, the more experienced guys around the group, have been very good with them as well. They're able to say, this is what we call it. I suppose Craig Casey is able to explain to Tom Ahern at home, this is the word for that, and they get aligned a little bit quicker. So I think the more senior players in the group have been excellent with the young group guys, and it's been good. It won't be perfect, we're aware of that when we play, even with the most experienced internationals in the group, that it won't be perfect. So trying to make the players aware of that as well is really important, and we just have to crack on then.
It's a huge chance for all these players coming in, but how do you get them in the frame of mind that they're going to play their game rather than freezing on the night and actually take responsibility for what they're doing?
Well, that's the challenge for them, and I'm sure that, as I said, it's not going to be perfect. I'm sure there'll be plenty of nerves, but that's part of it. You almost have to experience that and go through it a little bit to learn how to figure it out. So that's why we want them. That's why we wanted them in that kind of prep window, that 2-week prep window. That's what international rugby is all about. So they really get to learn how to come in, how to learn quickly, how to get aligned quickly. So we've spoken to them quite a lot, and a big part of what we do is about the players staying present, not taking mistakes with them. We do a lot of work on that, and we speak a lot about that, but ultimately until you're in the middle of it and you're making a mistake and you're trying to have to figure out how to get out of your own way, it's only by getting on the field and experiencing it that you really learn. So that's the great thing for this tour. It's so good. We've had so many players selected for the Lions. There's another bonus for us in that we get this really tough test match in a place, I suppose, in a country that are full of confidence in how their rugby is going. So these guys have they have a real challenge on their hands, and it's not a test match or a game of I suppose small significance. It's a really significant test match where they have to perform. So they're going to learn a lot. We'll learn a lot as coaches as well.
Just final one on the challenge of Georgia themselves, a team that's steadily improved over the last number of years. Could you just tell us a bit about them?
Yeah, well, they're an excellent side. I think, they're a very proud rugby nation, but they're really well coached as well. We know a lot of their coaches. Obviously, Conor McPhillips, Roddy Grant. I would have learned an awful lot from Roddy Grant when I first came into the job at Ireland. He was working in Ulster at the time. You can see it in how they play. They're very well organised. I suppose a little bit like us. They're quite passionate about what they do, and they're able to combine that now with some really good organisation and really good structure to what they do. They have a mixture of players playing in France who bring a real, I suppose, I suppose, flair to what they do, and the Black Lion players have impressed a lot of the coaches as well. The likes of well, from a forwards point of view, the likes of Boop and Ashvili, and even Ashvili. These kind of guys, they're really tough, well organised, smart rugby players. So, yeah, and you know they did a good autumn, nearly beat Italy. They obviously beat Georgia. They had a good summer last year. They put 29 points on Australia down there. They didn't beat them. They beat a Tier 1 nation in Japan. They've been steadily beating Tier 1 nations in the last number of years. So, yeah, so it's a brilliant test match for our players.